Okay, are we here? Are we here? I do not see it here. Okay, well, going on. I'm hoping I can. I'm hoping you're here. Okay, well, I am live on YouTube and now I am live on Facebook. So it's a simulcast. It's pretty cool, huh? So I've been monitoring what's going on in the U.S. Supreme Court about the 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 thing that was brought up to them by the special prosecutor, if that's actually wants to clarify that the president of the United States, any president, do they have immunity, presidential immunity? So let's talk about this. And this is in reference to the case against Donald Trump. So let's discuss this for a second. Now, the argument of the Department of Justice special counsel is our special prosecutor is that the president never has immunity. That's what he's arguing. And that way they can go ahead and prosecute after the fact they're out of office. So the problem that I see with this is that and the Democrats have got to be very, very careful about if the SCOTUS or the Supreme Court of the United States, if they decide with the special prosecutor and saying that there is no immunity for a sitting president once they receive office or once they leave office. So, that being the case, let's say the documents case where The government says that former President Trump had these documents that he was not supposed to have, and therefore they did an FBI raid with coming in with guns and uh, all kinds of nonsense to go into a small room where there was a box sitting in the room that was locked up. So they're saying that the documents that President Trump had were not for him to have, you know, and he's citing presidential immunity allows him to do that. And so the question is, if President Trump does not have presidential immunity after he leaves office, and he's not allowed to have certain documents with him, he's not allowed to be able to escape any kind of prosecution that the government decides are going to bring on him. I think the Democrats need to think about this for a moment. Don't you think? Well, think about it for a second. If the precedent is set, is established, if the precedent is established that the president has no presidential immunity, then what's to stop the Republicans when they get into office for prosecuting or having prosecute Barack Obama? He declared presidential immunity. So if the SCOTUS says that the president has no immunity, then neither does Barack Obama. Neither does George W. Bush. Neither does Bill Clinton. So you can go all the way back to whatever presidents are alive today and prosecute them because they have no immunity. All the papers and documents that Barack Obama has in his library in Chicago should be seized. And he should be tried, among various other things that happened during his presidency. Benghazi was one of them. So, IRS gate. How can you forget that? So, that would include Joe Biden. And all the things that he did while he was vice president, as a senator, vice president, and even as president, of not enforcing the laws of the United States. You can't choose which laws to enforce and which laws to not enforce. You have to enforce them all, and with prejudice, which means that these laws are to be enforced no matter what. So it's really hot here. Actually, it's not that hot. It's only 94 degrees Fahrenheit, and which is about, I don't know, 36, 37 C. But the humidity makes it seem like it's 105 Fahrenheit, which is about 40 C. So the humidity is what makes it hot. I'm sweating, and I just had a shower. So think about it. So if you're a Democrat, do you really want this prosecutor to go through with this? Because if he does get it granted that no president has immunity, do you want your Democrat presidents now serving or have served in the past that are still alive, do you want them to go through a prosecution for crimes that whatever it is gets drummed up? Now, the president has to have some kind of immunity, just in the nature of his job. But unless he's committed a serious crime, such as having one of his buddies go and kill somebody because they decided that they were going to tell on your party for showing that what you are producing against another person is false, that happens. But no one's been prosecuted for it. John Brown, Congressman John Brown, died under suspicious circumstances in Italy. But no one's been prosecuted for it. So it's important to realize and to understand that if you are going to tell President Trump he has no immunity whatsoever, then you have to go back. If you have any kind of conscience, if you have any kind of integrity, any kind of honesty, you have to, at the same time, bring these presidents in with the full fervor that you've given to Donald Trump. If not, then the United States government is a sham. If you're going to prosecute one, you have to prosecute them all. You can't pick and choose who you want to prosecute. Doesn't matter whether they're Democrat, or doesn't matter whether they're Republican or independent or whatever. You have to go after all of them. So, it makes no difference, where you stand and where you lean as far as your political parties and stuff like that. I'm apolitical. I don't like politics. I think politics is a sham. I think everybody who goes in there with an agenda, and the first agenda is they're going to become rich. Whether they do insider trading, but hey, they're in Congress. They have immunity, right? If the president has no immunity, then Congress or the Senate have no immunity. If the president does not have immunity, then the bureaucrats that are under him, the bureaucrats have no immunity. Nobody in government has an immunity. So it doesn't matter now that you've taken away one. If the SCOTUS votes on this in favor of the special prosecutor, then nobody has immunity. That special prosecutor doesn't have immunity. Nobody in the Department of Justice has immunity. Nobody in the FBI has immunity. Nobody in the CIA or NSA or any other organization within the government on the executive branch in the congressional branch or in the judiciary branch has immunity. No one does. And if you're going to do one person just because you now declare him to not have immunity, every single one that has committed crimes while in office cannot declare immunity. And by that precedent, every single one needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, to include Joe Biden, to include Barack Obama, to include J.W. Bush, G.W. Bush, to include Bill Clinton, and any other president that's still alive. I think, what's his? There's still one other president that's still alive. He's very old and decrepit. Take him to court. And by what standard are you going to hold them? So I'm putting Americans on notice and the Democrat Party on notice. You better hope you never lose. You better hope that you stay within the two. You stay with more than 2/3, or you're within the 2/3 of your congressional votes on House and Senate. Because I guarantee you, Republicans should just lay waste. Should lay waste for what you've done in the last 8 years. It's unbelievable. Hypocritical. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi needs to be on notice. All the other Democrat candidates and Republicans, that if you committed a crime while in office, whether it's insider trading, inciting violence, yeah, we got everything on tape now of everything you've said. You hear that, AOC? Everything you said that would incite someone to commit a crime. No immunity. So let's think about things before we ask for them. Remember, everything has a consequence, either good or bad. Everything has a consequence. What we say, what we do. And somewhere down the line, what we say and what we do is going to come up and bite you in the rear end. And you're going to be stuck standing in front of a court. I'm just letting you know. That's the way it is. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody for being here, watching. Uh, please like, comment, and share to my YouTube channel. And subscribe. My Facebook channel, which is just simply Robert Rice. Just I'm at the end of my 5,000 on my Facebook channel, so I really can't take any more friends on there. But be careful with what you want done. And I just don't think anybody's thinking in these things. They're not thinking in these terms. They're just so emotionally involved in all this that they can't think. That's what happens when you think within emotions, deep emotions. If you're thinking in deep emotions, you always make the wrong decision. If you're thinking out of deep prejudice, you'll always make the wrong decisions. So, anyways, God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you another time.